Hello and welcome. Thank you for choosing PDGo Digital Marketing for all your digital marketing needs. And in the tutorial today, we'll be taking a look at making changes to your website. Now we will break up this tutorial into different sections based on the subject of the section, and we will also break up those sections into subsections. So you can watch the tutorial video from start to finish, especially if you are just getting started with PDGo version 4, or if you have a specific question or a specific topic you're wanting to learn about, you can click to go right to one of those. Now starting off, I also want to mention that in PDGo version 4, the preferred browser is Google Chrome, whereas in PDGo version 3, the preferred browser was Firefox. However, we still do support other browsers, it's just the preferred browser. Now to log in version 3, we would go to pdgo.com, and then we would click on the PDGo version 3 login button. However, in version 4, we log in by going to our website. In my case, it's e.pdgo.com for the tutorial. However, this would be your website. And then /admin to get to the admin console. And now we're at the login screen. Now you should have received your login credentials via email when your site went live. However, if that is not the case, no worries. Just email us at support@pdgo.com and we can get those credentials to you. I'm going to paste in my password. Click login. And now we're at the admin console. Now that we're logged in, we can see our admin console. Over at the top, we have Logout, which will log us out of the PDGo version 4 systems. We have staff accounts, and we have your account. Staff accounts is a way that we can divvy up content between other users so that we don't have to give an employee our personal login to the PDGo version 4 system. We can create a new staff account for them, and once we've done that, we can limit what they're able to do. In your account, there are only two options in here. You can change the email address that you log in with by putting one in here. And if you put in your current password, you can also change your password to a new password, and then click Save. Alright, now in the Hello, what would you like to work with today section, we have web pages, blog articles, checkout orders, website settings, and statistics. Web pages is where we'll go to make changes to a web page or create or delete web pages. Blog articles is where we can create or delete blog articles. Checkout orders is where we can go to see who ordered what, and then from there we can dispatch them. Website settings, there are a few very important settings to be found in here for us to change. And then statistics gives us a brief look at what's going on with our website and traffic. Alright, we'll go from the top to the bottom, starting off with web pages. From here we can see our top level pages: home, what we do, contact us. If you look in the preview to the right, you can also see those: home, what we do, and contact us. To create a new top level page, we click new web page. We'll give it a name. The name test, and we've created a new top level page. Now you'll notice it does not show off to the right because its status is offline. That's on purpose, as when you create a web page, or a blog article for that matter, you don't necessarily want people to see you as you are making that web page. You want them to see the finished product. So you can finish the test page, and then once it is set, you can take it to status live. And we'll see once we do that. Now we have it off to the right. For this web page, we have Edit Web Page, which we'll be doing in a little bit. We have Add Subpage. This way you can have multiple subpages to this web page. You can do that for any of your pages. Once we click this back button, you'll see that this test page, which I have offline, also has a subpage. And this is how you can get back to that through this subpage button. And from here, we can also add new subpages to this as well. Other options you have besides status include security, so that you can give a web page a username and password combination. And now this is locked with a password. Now if someone wants to access this web page, they'll need that username and password combination to access it. Other options are redirecting page, so that you can, instead of having this page go to your page, your website, you can have it go to another page. Maybe you have a link at the top of your web page for Facebook or another link, and you can paste in the redirecting page link here and then click Save. Now we do recommend, if you do that, we also recommend that you do open a new window whenever you are sending someone off-site. We have hide from menus. So if we take this live, we'll see it's up here in the menu. However, we can also take it hide from menus. Now someone would need the link to access that page. And then we have redirect to first subpage. This is specifically for top level pages that have subpages. When someone was to click on this page, it'll take them to the first subpage, which would be test 1. Alrighty. Other options you have include duplicating a page and deleting a page. So we're going to delete this test page that we've created, and now it's gone. And you can also duplicate a page. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it status offline, so that doesn't show up here. Now we're going to go ahead and edit this page. Alright, now that we are editing this web page, we'll see that we have the content editor on the left and the page preview on the right. You can scroll down here. We can change the page name by clicking up at the top. And now the page's name is Test. Now when you first edit a web page, in general, it'll bring you to the main content area, which is just a content bar. These are all content bars. They're just different sections of content. In general, the content bars go from top to bottom. So it'd be content bar 1, content bar 2, content bar 3, etc., etc. So from the top to the bottom. The exception to this would be main content, which we have being first, so that when you edit the page, it'll bring you to the main content. Now you see we have our content editor on the left and the content preview on the right. However, if you don't like having the content preview on the right, we can change that by clicking this dual pane button, which will remove the preview and only gives us the content editor. The thing about that is you'll notice when we disable the dual pane, this Publish Changes button goes away. And that's because it wants us to see the changes that we've made before we can publish them. And I'll show you that again. Hit the dual pane button. Publish Changes is gone. So we click Preview Changes. And now the publish changes is up here, up to the left. To add content is as easy as clicking in white space and then typing. And now we have a whole text box. When we're dealing with text, we are dealing with text boxes. So for example, this is all one text box. And that means that we can take this arrow and drag it where we want to place it. I'm going to go ahead and delete this content. I selected these just by left clicking and dragging. And I'm going to hit delete. Now to break these up into two separate text boxes, I can do that just by clicking where I want to break them up. I can press enter twice, and now we have two separate text boxes that can be individually managed. Some of our text options we can get by highlighting the text. Now we have bold, italics, underline, and link. We can bolden the text just by clicking bold, and you put asterisk to the left and to the right. And that's what the system interprets as being bold. Now there's nothing special about this asterisks. So if we remove the asterisks, we remove the bold. It's the same way with italics and underline. We can also remove the italics and underline and the bold by highlighting it and then clicking it again. Now to link, we highlight the text, we click link. We can paste in a link here. We can choose for the link to open a new window. We can choose one of our own web pages. Or we can choose a file, like a PDF. If you don't have one, you can just click Upload New File. And now our text is linked. You'll see that with the underline. So here we have the link text, and here we have the actual link. Now again, there's nothing special about this. If we want to remove the link, we just remove this, as well as the brackets. It'll be back to regular text. Other text options we have are text format, advanced text styles, and text alignment. Text format is how we can make something a main heading. All the way to a minor heading. Now you'll notice the color next to the text indicates what size it is. For example, that is a minor heading because it is green, and we can see here it's green here too. So that's a minor heading. All the way up to red, which is the main heading. And then your other text options, you have the bulleted list and the numbered list. To use these, you would just make it a bulleted list. And then you would break them up. Each individual text box that's bulleted is now a bullet point. Now, when you think advanced text styles, think drawing eyes. because that's what text styles are meant for, drawing people's eyes. I'll show you what I mean. So we have icons to put in front of our text, or we have buttons. We're going to click on button large for now. Now you'll see that our link text has become a button. You can see that it's clickable just like the link was. Something to note about that, however, even though advanced text styles, like text format, affects the entire text block, if we put another word in here that is not linked, it won't be a button, because a button indicates that the word is linked. You can see that here. Something else you might be interested in text styles would be the icon email. And again, it's to draw people's eyes to the fact that you have an email address there. You also have a phone number, icon info, etc., etc. And then we have our text alignment. Left, center, right, and justify. Now we've had some options off to the left that we haven't been able to deal with, and that's for a reason. They're image options, and we haven't been dealing with an image, but we can change that. So we're going to click Insert, which brings us to our storage area menu, as well as widget and layout. Now what we want right here is an image, so we click on Images. We'll drag and drop an image. Blue line indicates where it's going to go. Now again, to do that, all I did was insert, and then I grabbed one of these images. I dragged it to the left, to the right, and the blue line indicates where it's going to go. Now note that the insert button brings you to the last storage item that you were using. In our case, it was images. However, if you don't want to be using the last one you just used, you just click the back button right up here. It brings us back to the storage area menu. Now that we have an image, we can click on it. Now we have our image options. We have the image alignment, image size, and advanced image styles. Now image size, if we click on it, we see here all the different sizes that we have, going from small all the way up to the original size. Now we can't blow up an image past its original size because then it would look bad. Then we have advanced image styles. Now, like advanced text styles, when you think advanced image styles, think drawing someone's eyes. For example, we have caption, light border caption, heavy border caption. Now we just did heavy border caption. You'll see it puts a black border around it, as well as a caption. We could have done light border caption as well. You see what that looks like. Now when seeing this, you might wonder where it's pulling this information from for the caption. If we double click on the image, we have two additional options. The image description, which we can replace, and then a linking area. We can paste in a link here, just as before. We can choose one of our own web pages, or we can choose a file, like a PDF. And as always, we have that link opens a new window button. Now we've changed the caption by changing the description. Note that the caption alignment follows the image alignment. So if the image is aligned center, so is the caption. Now if we click Insert, we have another option, and that's in Layout. Layouts are basically like tables that have one row, but a variable amount of columns. So, for example, we might want these two images to be one image and two image. So side by side in two separate columns. We can do that with the equal columns pair. We drag it to the left, to the right, and the blue line indicates where it's going to go. Now that we're here, we can drag our content inside of these two equal columns. And there they are. I'm going to go ahead and align this to the center. Note that the same thing can be done with text. We come back here, you'll see there are many different column layouts for you to choose from. Next to the layout, you'll notice the widgets. Now, widgets are individual items that add specific functionality to a page. Now, we don't have time to go through all of the different widgets, as they are very specialized. I just want to point out a few. Social Links widget adds images, well, really icons, with your social links, if you have populated them in your website settings, which we'll take a look at in a little bit. To add a widget, we just drag it to the left and to the right, and the blue line indicates where it's going to go. So we'll do that with the horizontal rule, which just adds a line. Now you notice the horizontal rule only went halfway, as it is in a column layout, and it's respecting the size of that column. If we drag it outside of the column layout, we'll see that the line goes all the way across the screen. The horizontal rule in Visible is similar, except instead of adding a line, it just adds a space. Our blog, this is a core widget, meaning there really should only be one of these. And this would be, if you have a blog, what you would do is you'd create a new blog page, you'd name it blog, and then you'd drag this blog core to that page. Once you do that, you have made that page your blog page. And then new articles that you create will show up there. Lastly, we have the copyright notice. A way of adding a copyright notice. That auto updates the date. Alright, we're going to go back to insert. Now, I've already dealt with images a little bit. We're going to deal with it a little bit more in depth here. Click on images. We see our images here. We can upload a new image by clicking on Upload New Image and then choose it from our desktop. We can drag the image from our desktop to this area, or we can actually drag the image from the desktop directly to the content editor. When you do so, just look for the blue line that indicates where it's going to go. With images, we can categorize them. If we click on it, see we can categorize it. So maybe we'll categorize it as test. Now there's a benefit to that in that we can filter our images by what we've categorized. The other benefit is something called a gallery. So, a gallery is simply a collection of images that we can display on our page. So I've just made the test gallery, and now it shows images from the test category. I can have it set to show images from multiple categories if I want to. And I can also stylize it how I want. The most used one is the slideshow. I'll show you what that looks like. I just need one more image. Let's categorize that as test. Now this test gallery pulls from the test category, which has 2 images. And it's stylized as a slideshow. Now this is quite a large image, but you still get the idea. If we click here, it shuffles through them. Now that we've dealt with images and galleries, we have tables, which is a way to organize our data content. Not too many people use tables nowadays, as what we used to use tables for, we now use our column layouts for, which is a much nicer way to deal with it. You can still use tables, especially for something like spreadsheet data. We'll make a test table, and we add table data. It should be in the CSV format, which any Excel-like program can export to. And once you've created your table, you can drag it and drop it, just like any other storage item. Next, we have contact forms, which is a great way of requesting information from our clients. We can have multiple contact forms. Most websites will use just one for their general contact us form. However, you can still add as many as you want. So maybe you have a contact form for membership, registration, your general contact form, etc., etc. To change who it goes to, we just click on that contact form, click recipient, and then we can change who it goes to. We can have it also set to automatically email one of our pages when someone signs up and giving it a subject. Or if someone fills out the form, we can have it redirect them to a page. We can edit our form fields. Click on that. We have our name, subject, message. You can request as much or as little as you want. When we click on the field, we have required. Once we click that, you see the asterisk, meaning that it's been required. We can also change the kind of information we're requesting. So if we add a new field, by clicking Add Field, we might name it Email. The default is short text, but we can change that to email. And now we've added a new form field. You can also export your submissions as well. Now, if you have an e-store built in, we have products, which we can add a product by clicking Add Product. We can set the price here. We can rename it. You do have product choices, however, not with a simple product. And you also have an option to only sell if it is in stock, but you'll obviously have to give it stock. And once you've created that product, you can easily add it to your page just by dragging and dropping. Next, we have calendars. We can click on that. Now we've added a calendar, and we can edit the calendar events by clicking Edit Events. We can add a new event by clicking here. And once you've created it, you can give it a date, you can give it a time, you can give it a location, or other information, however you want to spruce it up. And now we can drag this calendar to the content editor. And now we have a calendar. Another thing we have are snippets. Snippets are content that you create once and can be dragged anywhere. So for example, we might want our address, because we'll only want to edit our address once if it changes and have it change across the board, rather than having to find each instance of our address and have it to change it. Now this is a simple example, and you can add a lot of complexity to this area. However, we're going to go back. This is just to show you the functionality. So we click Insert. We're going to go back to our snippets. Drag it to the left, to the right. And now we see our snippet content here. Now we could have that same snippet on multiple pages and only have to change it once to change it across the board. Now we have embed codes. Embed codes are a way of getting code onto our web page simply by giving it a name and pasting the code in here. So if we went to maps.google.com, we'll just grab a random address just to show this. Or maybe the PDGO office. We'll do that. Share. Embed map. We'll grab this map. Paste that code in. And hit enter. Now we have this storage item. This Google map is then dealt with just like any other storage item. Just drag to the left, to the right, and the blue line indicates where it's going to go. And now we have the Google map. Now besides Google Maps, another reason you might want to use an embed code would be to add a video to your web page. So we can do that now. Click Add Embed Code. We're going to do a YouTube video, although any web sharing site should have an embed code that you can use. So we'll grab it from here. just grab a random video. We go to share. Click on embed. In general, our recommendation is to uncheck the show suggested videos when the video finishes, as you don't know what you would end up being associated with those recommended videos. We'll copy this embed code, go back here, paste it in, and then to add this video, we just drag it and drop it. And that's how to add web videos via the embed code function. And then lastly, if we go to insert, we have our files. Again, you can upload a new file just like you can with an image by clicking upload new file and then choosing the file from your desktop or dragging it to this files area. Once you have it here, you can drag it to the content editor. However, doing it that way will be just the same as linking text to that file. It'll put the file name and then it'll link to that file. Now let's say you've made a bunch of changes to this page and you want to revert them. You can do that by clicking page. And then if you had a published version, you would click it here and it would revert it. I'll show you what that looks like. So we can do publish changes. Now we have a published version. So if we make changes, we can revert back to that published version just by clicking on it. We will want to validate that this is correct. This is the correct version that we want. And then once we're sure it is, just click anywhere and then click Publish Changes. Once you do that, that'll be your newest version. The page. And now we're started from a new draft that comes from that published version. Other things of interest in this page area would be the meta title, meta description, meta keywords. In general, these are dealt with when it comes to search engine optimization, so I just want to point out that they are here. Alright, we are back to the main screen. We just dealt with web pages. So now with blog articles, we can click on that. We can create a new blog article by clicking New Blog Article and give it a name. Now editing blog articles is just like what we did with the website. So we would click on it and click Edit Article. We have some additional options like the author here, but in general it's just the same. If we click it, we would edit that article just like we edit a web page. For checkout orders, we click on it. If we have any orders, we'll see them here. We can click on them, and then click Dispatch if we've already dealt with it. If we have orders that we haven't dealt with, you'll see them up here in a red button over the X with the number of orders that we have not dealt with. Next, we have website settings. Of particular interest to us is website homepage, so we can select which page is our homepage. Fortunately for us, home is currently our homepage, so we are set there. Checkout orders, so we can set what our merchant email address is here for something like a PayPal email. blog articles, so we can allow comments, site-wide content. Now, site-wide content is like editing a web page, except this is for our site-wide content, like our footer. So if you want to edit our footer, we would click on it here. You might also have your header be here and editable, so this is where you do that as well. Both are site-wide content. So you'd click on the one you want to edit. It goes from top down, 1, 2, so it's 1 and 2. You'd click on it, and then you'd edit just like you'd edit a regular web page. And then lastly, social and contact, so that we can add a social link into here. Once we do that, it'll populate in any social links widget that we've used. Alright, the last thing we're going to take a look at are statistics. Now, statistics give you a brief look at what's going on traffic-wise with your website. As you can see here, it makes comparisons between the current month and last month. It gives you hits and visitors. Now, visitors is the more important statistic, as hits can be anything from someone downloading an image to Google searching your website. Also, we have the top browsers that are used, the operating systems, and the source. Also of interest would be the website that your clients end up using. In general, your home page is going to be the most visited page. But then after that, it's interesting to see what people click on. And that's it for statistics. Alright, well, I want to thank you for watching this tutorial video. If you have any problems, just let us know by emailing us at support@pdgo.com. Additional articles and information can be found here at training.v4.pdgoserver.com. You can also contact us through here, and you also have the tech support number here. Thank you and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.